Lots of people want to be a product manager, but it's very hard to get the job. Today, I'm going to share with you the 10 secrets to ace product management interviews. Hey guys, this is Dr. Nancy from Honey with Milk. I teach negotiation and influence to help engineers and international professionals to get control of their life and their career. I have been a product manager for a while, and now I manage a team of product managers. In the past couple of years, I've interviewed more than 100 candidates. I have seen lots of common traits among all the product managers who have hired for our companies, and also I help other candidates to join other companies. So today, I'm going to tell you the common 10 patterns I have seen in a successful candidate, and hopefully this can help you to get your dream job. And first of all, let's talk about the entire market. Why product management? So somehow product management became one of the most sexy jobs. After all the MBAs graduate from the school, they no longer line up in the career fair trying to join McKinsey. And lots of people want to line up at like Apple, Google, all the tech companies and trying to be their CEO of product. It is pretty sexy, honestly, based on what we do. I do think this is the most fun job among all different jobs I've done before. So I do highly recommend people to try to be a product manager and experiment yourself. Here comes the reality. Because it's one of the most sexy jobs nowadays, is very competitive. So it's harder and harder to become a product manager without any experience. So therefore, I summarize all the 10 common traits of all the successful candidates I've seen before, and hopefully all the 10 traits and secrets is able to help you to get your dream job. First of all, it's a mindset and confidence. I've seen lots of candidates coming in, lots of people just didn't feel confident. Even if they're pretty qualified, they lack the confidence. So something I need to tell you is see the job interview as dating. It's a matching process between you and the company. Even if it's your dream job, it's okay that you didn't get it. So to be honest, when I was hired as a product manager years ago, I didn't have any experience. And after joining the company, lots of people walk up to me.
Wow, we interviewed lots of candidates inside the company, outside the company. You're the one!
To me, I was like, I don't know why they hired me. Then, as I get to know my team, I strike a conversation with my manager at the time and ask, why you hired me? So he told me 3 reasons. One, the reason was,
you had extreme confidence about what you can bring to the company. That's the reason.
Second, do not badmouth about your ex-boss.
Great resume. I've seen that you're very successful in Amazon. Why do you want to leave Amazon?
Jeff Bezos cheated on his wife. I hate it! My boss showed me lots of pictures of his nanny. Very creepy.
But think about this. It's like dating process. If we decide to marry each other, do I like somebody continues to badmouth about his past, and potentially he will badmouth about me in the future? So don't do this. When we hear something like that, we immediately reject those candidates. And third, be concise. This is honestly one of the biggest reasons we reject lots of candidates. In lots of interviews, candidates were like this.
So, tell me a time you solved a conflict.
Once upon a time, I met this interesting lady in the front desk. She kept on talking and talking and talking. I really didn't like her, and she still kept on talking and talking and talking and talking. I really didn't like her. So what's the problem?
So, keep going. More? Okay? More? Yeah. You're finally done. Thank God.
This is so simple, but lots of people still make such simple mistake. Has nothing to do with their years experience. Someone has been like 20 years, they still talk very long, very long. Yeah. So the fourth tip is, please get ready to talk about your accomplishments. This sounds easy, but lots of people do not know how to tell the story. When you tell a story, make sure you emphasize on the impact. So you did this, so therefore 1 million people has used this, so you were promoted. So there's evidence of your accomplishments. Remember, there's a storyline to show you lead to the result. Lots of people didn't know how to tell the story. So practice how to tell the story with another recruiter or your friend to see whether the story you tell can really show your accomplishment. Number 5, talk about your visa strategically. So find the right strategy to talk about your visa situation with a recruiter prior to the interview or post to the interview. Since Trump started to make the immigration policy very tight, I have seen that lots of companies freeze the hiring for international professionals. So when you deal with those sensitive topics, you need to be transparent with a recruiter and let them know what your plan. You plan to work here for 3 years and move back to the country, then you don't need sponsorship and things like that. And be ready to have those kind of conversations because this could be the deal breaker. Number 6, the answers are too short. This is also very, very interesting. We had the experience of having some candidate went to the other extreme. Then you ask him,
So please tell me your biggest accomplishment.
I sold a car.
Huh? How?
I work with sales and marketing, figure out a work plan and get it done.
So what's next?
there was a time that I had the shortest interview in my life. Not just me, lots of people said the same thing. It just went by really fast was because we asked a question or any case study, the candidate just make it very fast. There's no details, no meat on the bone. That's very awkward. Number 7, be analytical. In some tech companies, they like to have product managers to crunch lots of data to drive customer insight using SQL or Excel. So therefore, during the interview, they probably will give you a homework and ask you to crunch lots of data and tell them a story. Or maybe in real time, they will ask you something like this.
How many emails does YouTube send out to end users every year?
For lots of people with engineering background, this is not difficult at all. However, if you came from marketing or finance, and you're better to hone those kind of skills a little bit better. So I will prepare some of the cheat sheet down below so that you can start to practice those kind of questions ahead of time. Number 8, technical. For almost all the product management interviews, we will have you to do some technical interview. Nobody expects product managers to write a code, but for building technical product, we want product manager being able to maybe sometimes understand the pseudocode, talk about the details of how things can be used, and being able to communicate with engineers. So in this case, we usually put product managers into a technical interview.
Please design the API of a decentralized trading platform. Please remember to use 3 methodology and you have 30 minutes to accomplish this. Make sure you give us a presentation. We'll be waiting for you outside.
What is API?
So be ready for those kind of situations. If I were you, I would start to look into how different things like how internet works, how containers getting orchestrated in AWS or in private data centers and things like that. And think about if you were a product manager before, you should learn how specific things work, assuming you're the architect of your product. And if you have no product management experience, but you have engineering background, I would emphasize on how you solve engineering problem, how you're able to see things in a bigger picture to understand the needs and the requirement and create product innovations from the engineering's perspective. Highlight technical part in your behavior questions or during your case studies and show them that you're able to communicate very technically. This is something lots of people fail in those interviews, like I'm very good at marketing, yes, tell me the technical side of yourself. Or you can also show them you took the coding bootcamp, you built some like app by yourself. Those are really good examples of showing you are technical. And number 9, be structured and talk about the scope. During the product management interview, we'll usually give you a case study. about a product situation. For example,
can you design an app for a restaurant?
Things like that. So when you talk about things like this, don't just dive in and talk about details. Pick a specific framework. In this case, I recommend the circle framework, which I put it right here, that tells them your entire logic thinking. How do you plan to solve this problem? Structure this, talk about end users with different trade-off of product features, pros and cons, and go-to-market strategy as well. To talk about the entire scope ahead of time, then you can draw into the details. So this is something lots of people forgot about. Even if you have years of product management experience, lots of people didn't know how to show their strategic thinking as a product manager during those case studies. And number 10, honestly, my favorite tip, be creative and don't tell me what you think I need to hear. I have seen other candidates like to say things tailored to my needs.
Can you design a smart home solution for blind people?
God, 5G is going to solve all the problems in the world. Blind people, child, everybody. Best technology.
You can mention part of my company's mission, the product, but when I ask you to criticize or even design your own product, say something that's original and creative. Hiring managers can tell you're trying to just kick ass, say something you like to hear. That's the first person I'm gonna reject, because what's gonna look like if I hire you to work for me? Every day you just playing politics, say things sounds nice instead of creating the right product for my company. So to help you to prepare those interviews, I create a checklist for you to go through to get ready so that you're not going to make those mistakes and get ready to hit all the 10 things I talk about so that you're able to increase the chance of you getting your dream product management job. So you can click the link down below to download the checklist. This is Dr. Nancy from Honey with Milk. If you want to hear more about the inside of interviews and negotiation from a hiring manager's perspective, please let me know, comment down below. Once you use the cheat sheet, please let me know your feedback. See how did you conquer the product management interviews, how far did you go, let me know specific questions you have. The final tips I want to give you is, it's a very competitive process. Don't give up. It's normal to get rejected, but all you need is one job and one dream job. Okay, good luck with the interview. And this is Dr. Nancy from Honey with Milk. Subscribe and hit the like button. Bye.